Okay, our session this time is using temporary land contracts in conjunction with reverse mortgages or regular mortgages for takeouts. I would like to kind of change that a little bit and say use seller financing, because when you get into land contracts, it's structuring a deal on a temporary land contract that you want to refinance later. You have to visit the question is, which is the best instrument to use? Is it a seller-held land contract, or is it a seller-held mortgage? A seller-held mortgage. So I'm going to dive into that and just bear with me. But the ideal is that there's seasoning requirements. Some lenders want 6 months and some lenders want a year. The great thing about it is that your mom been living somewhere and you want to get her a beautiful home. You could buy, because of the buoyancy in the market, you could buy your mother a home right now, and a seller may be willing to sell on a temporary land contract because they know that a year, 6 months, 7 months, your mom can finance them out. Now, the only question is that FHA, or Philadelphia is what I call it, the reverse mortgage people will not allow seller financing. So you can sell on a land contract, but you got to have your friend hold that paper. Now maybe y'all trade and you make a deal, but the paper's not in your name, but your friend hold that paper. You may sell to your friend that paper and they hold it, and you could probably figure out a creative way to do that yourself, but you cannot hold the land contract. In other words, if I sold a senior citizen a house, someone else needs to offer her the financing. It doesn't have to be a land contract. It could be a mortgage. It could be a privately financed mortgage. For example, a mortgage is a deed given to the buyer, and the lender holds a mortgage. Under a land contract, a deed is not given. It is just a land contract, and at the end of the land contract, you get a deed once you pay off the land contract. Now, certainly someone could create an entity with a very interesting financial sounding name, and that is a lender in this case. And they could do 1 to 3 deals, but you cannot go over that because of Dodd-Frank. You can only do so many of these deals a year. So what is very interesting is that if you were able to make a transaction that someone was willing to carry the paper, and then your partner, you're someone that you find that you've done business with, and at the end of 6 or 7 months, that property is reassessed and refinanced. You can put in there tremendous discounts. Use the highest possible price. You wouldn't want to use, in a case where there's great buoyancy, you wouldn't want to use the lower price. You would want to use the higher price so you could curate the comp that's going to take yourself out. You hear what I said? You want to use the highest possible price and then tuck in there a discount so that you could take and finance the deal out. Now, reverse mortgages does not refinance 100%. They will go by based on your age. Whatever your age is, take away 10, that's the percent they will finance approximately. For example, if you're 75 years old, they'll finance 65%. But out of that 65%, they're going to take 5 years of escrows for property taxes, because a lot of homeowners are losing their property because of property tax. That's probably because many of them don't realize they're tax exempt. Some of them have Alzheimer's, and people are not paying any attention, and they don't pay the property taxes, and their children are not watching. So make sure that if you do have a reverse mortgage, that you pay the property taxes, and try to take and make sure you use a mortgage rather than a land contract. And it has to be not a seller-held mortgage, but a arm's length mortgage, and it could be created. It could be created by someone, or it could be a lender. You can put the discount not in the mortgage. You can put the discount in the purchase agreement, and in the purchase agreement it says this shall survive the closing. So in the mortgage document, there's no provision for a discount, or in the land contract there's no provision for a discount. But in the purchase agreement that you originally signed, there is a clause that says if the buyer pays this land contract off or mortgage off or pays this document off, they should be entitled to a discount of X number. And that is in the mortgage document itself, which will travel with the document, which will travel if your ex-friend is the one that is providing the financing. He is the recipient of that. He have to follow that deal. That was the terms. So in any event, just to overview itself, make sure you use the highest possible price, because you're going to create your own comp when the reverse mortgage do the appraisal. They're somewhat conservative in Detroit. They're not going to loan 100%. They're going to base it on your age minus 10, and that's the percent they're going to loan. Then after that, they're going to take out escrow. So you got to get a price high enough that you can finance 100%, or you got to come up with cash. This is a wonderful, wonderful thing. If you have any questions about what I've just said, I want you to email me or go to the mastermind chat room and just write the questions down. If you need any of the forms to do it, or if you need counseling on it, just chat with me. You are one of my colleagues, and this is Herb Strather, your certified coach. Thank you very much.